Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Olly. Today, we're starting a new episode called How to Make New Friends in a New Country. Making friends is not always easy, especially if you move to a place where the culture is different and the language is new. But don't worry, we are here to guide you step by step.
Yes, and making friends is so important. Friends can help you feel at home, give you support when you feel lonely, and also help you practice your English in a natural way.
Exactly. When you arrive in a new country, everything can feel strange. The food, the streets, the people. But when you make even one friend, suddenly the new place feels less scary and much more welcoming.
So the first step is simple. Be open and approachable. This means showing people that you are friendly and ready to connect. For example, smile when you meet someone, say hello, or ask a small question like, "How are you today?"
Yes, a smile is very powerful. Even if your English is not perfect, people will feel your kindness. And when people feel your kindness, they want to talk to you more.
Another easy way to be approachable is to show interest in other people. You can ask small, safe questions like, "Do you live nearby?" or "What do you like to do here?" This shows that you care, and people love when someone cares about them.
That's right. So in this first chapter, we want you to remember one important message. Friendship starts with openness. Smile, say hello, and be curious about others. It's the first small step that opens the door to new connections.
And in the next chapter, we'll talk about where to actually meet new people, because if you don't know where to go, it can be very hard to make friends.
Welcome back, friends. In the last chapter, we talked about the importance of being open and approachable. Now let's move to the next step. Where can you actually meet people when you arrive in a new country?
That's a big question. Many learners tell us, "I want to make friends, but I don't know where to start." The truth is, people are everywhere, but you need to know the right places to connect with them.
Exactly. Let's start with one of the easiest places. School or language classes. If you are studying English, your classroom is full of people who are also learning. That's a perfect opportunity. You can sit next to someone new, ask them about their homework, or suggest practicing together after class.
And if you're not in school, don't worry. Another great place is community events. Many cities have cultural festivals, food fairs, or free concerts in the park. If you join these events, you'll meet people who also want to enjoy life and share their culture.
Yes, and remember, when you join these activities, you already have something in common. For example, if you go to a music festival, everyone around you likes music. That makes it easier to start a conversation.
Another option is clubs or groups for hobbies. Do you like football? Join a local team. Do you enjoy reading? Find a book club. Love cooking? Maybe there's a cooking class near you. Hobbies are a great way to meet people because you're not just talking, you're doing something fun together.
That's one of my favorite tips. And here's another place many people forget: volunteering. When you help others, you meet kind people who also want to make the world better. For example, you can help at an animal shelter, a library, or a local charity. Volunteering connects you to people who have big hearts.
Yes, and let's not forget workplaces or part-time jobs. Even if you only work a few hours, your coworkers can become good friends. You can chat during breaks, ask for advice, or even invite them for coffee after work.
And finally, one simple but powerful place: your neighborhood. If you greet your neighbors, buy food from the same shop, or visit the same cafe, you'll start seeing the same faces. Over time, those small hellos can grow into real friendships.
So let's review. You can meet new people at schools, community events, hobby groups, volunteer activities, workplaces, and even right in your neighborhood. Opportunities are everywhere. You just need to step outside and look around.
That's a great summary. So friends, in this chapter, we learned that making friends doesn't happen by magic. You need to put yourself in places where people are. The more you show up, the more chances you'll have to connect.
And in the next chapter, we'll talk about something very important: how to actually start a conversation with someone new, even if you feel shy or your English is not perfect.
Welcome back, friends. So far, we've learned about being open, where to meet people, how to start conversations, and how to keep them going. Now comes a very important step: how to start a conversation with someone new.
Yes, starting a conversation can be scary, especially if your English is not perfect. But don't worry, the key is to keep it simple, friendly, and natural. You don't need long sentences or perfect grammar.
Exactly. The first tip is to use small greetings. Simple words like hello, hi, how are you, or nice to meet you are perfect. They are polite, easy, and they open the door for a longer conversation.
Another tip is to ask questions about the situation. For example, if you're at a language class, you could ask, "Do you understand this exercise?" Or, "Which topic do you like the most?" Questions are great because they show interest in the other person.
Yes, and here's another simple idea. Comment on your surroundings. If you're at a park, you could say, "It's a beautiful day today, isn't it?" Or at a cafe, "This coffee tastes amazing. Have you tried it?" These small observations are natural conversation starters.
Exactly. And don't forget shared activities. If you're in a class, a hobby group, or a volunteer activity, you already have something in common. You can say things like, "I like this activity. What about you?" Or, "How long have you been doing this?"
That's perfect. And another tip is to smile and use body language. Even if your English is not perfect, a smile and friendly gestures make people feel comfortable. For example, nodding when someone talks or laughing a little shows that you are interested.
And here's a big tip. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Most people are happy to help if your English isn't perfect. They will appreciate your effort to talk, and your confidence will grow each time you try.
Yes, let's give our listeners a small practice. Imagine you meet someone at a park. You could say, "Hi, my name is Olly. What's your name?" Or, "Hello, it's a sunny day today, isn't it?" Even just these short sentences can start a great conversation.
So remember, friends, the key to starting a conversation is to keep it simple, friendly, and curious. Ask questions, comment on your surroundings, and show interest in the other person.
And in the next chapter, we'll talk about how to keep the conversation going so that new acquaintances can become real friends. Welcome back, everyone. In the last chapter, we learned how to start a conversation. Now let's move to the next step: how to keep the conversation going so you can turn a new acquaintance into a real friend.
Yes, many people start talking, but then the conversation stops. The key is to ask follow-up questions and share a little about yourself.
Exactly. For example, if someone says, "I like reading books," you can respond with a follow-up question. "Oh, what kind of books do you like?" Or, "Who is your favorite author?"
And it's also important to share something about yourself. Conversations are like a dance. You ask, they answer, you answer, they ask. For example, you could say, "I like reading too. I just finished a mystery book last week."
Yes, sharing a small story or experience makes the conversation more personal and interesting. People feel connected when they know a little about your life.
Another tip is to talk about common interests or shared experiences. If you met someone at a language class, talk about the class. Which lesson did you enjoy most today? Or if you're at a cooking class, "I love making pasta. Have you tried it before?"
That's great. And don't forget to listen actively. Nodding, smiling, and saying small things like "really" or "wow, that's interesting" shows that you are paying attention. People remember when someone listens carefully.
Yes, and here's another idea. Use compliments in a natural way. For example, "I like your jacket," or "You speak English very well." A friendly compliment makes people feel good and more comfortable with you.
Let's give a small practice. Imagine you meet someone at a park. You could say, "Hi, my name is Olly. What's your name?" "I'm Anna." "Nice to meet you, Anna. Do you come to this park often?" "Yes, I walk here every morning." "That's great. I love walking too. I usually walk after work."
Exactly. See how the conversation moves naturally? Asking questions, sharing a little, and showing interest is the secret.
So, friends, in this chapter, we learned that to keep a conversation going, you need to ask follow-up questions, share about yourself, listen actively, and show interest.
And in the next chapter, we'll discuss how to make plans and spend time together so a new friend can become a real lasting friend.
Welcome back, friends. So far, we've learned how to be open, where to meet people, how to start conversations, and how to keep them going. Now let's talk about the next step, making plans and spending time together.
Yes, meeting someone once is good, but if you want a real friendship, you need to spend more time together. Shared experiences create stronger bonds.
Exactly. And making plans doesn't have to be complicated. Start with something simple, like, do you want to have coffee tomorrow? Or would you like to go for a walk this weekend? Small invitations show interests and help the friendship grow.
And it's also important to be flexible. Maybe the other person can't meet on the day you suggest. That's okay. Just say, no problem, when is good for you. Being understanding shows that you care about the friendship.
Yes. Another idea is to invite friends to activities you enjoy. For example, if you like cooking, you can say, I'm making pasta tonight. Would you like to join? Or if you like sports, I'm going to the park to play football. Do you want to come? Shared activities help you get to know each other naturally.
Also, don't forget about small gestures. Sometimes inviting someone for a short chat or sharing a snack can make a big difference. It shows kindness and makes people feel welcome.
Exactly. And here's a tip. Try to meet regularly. Even once a week is enough at first. The more you spend time together, the easier it becomes to talk and feel comfortable.
Let's give a small example. Imagine you met someone at a language class. You could say, Hi, I really enjoyed talking to you today. Would you like to meet for coffee tomorrow? If they say yes, that's your first step. Then you can plan another activity next week. Step by step, the friendship grows.
So, in this chapter, we learned that making plans, sharing activities, being flexible, and showing kindness are key to turning a new acquaintance into a friend.
And in the next chapter, we'll talk about how to maintain friendships over time, even when life gets busy or you face challenges in a new country.
Welcome back, friends. So far, we've talked about being open, meeting people, starting conversations, keeping them going, and making plans. Now let's focus on something very important, maintaining friendships over time.
Yes, making a friend is one step, but keeping the friendship is another. In a new country, life can feel busy or confusing, so it's important to put in some effort to stay connected.
Exactly. One simple way is to check in regularly. Even a short message like, Hi, how are you today? Or, Do you want to meet for coffee this week? Shows that you care and keeps the connection alive.
Another tip is to celebrate small moments together. For example, if your friend has a birthday, invite them for a small coffee or a walk. Or if something good happens in their life, like finishing a course or getting a new job, congratulate them. These little gestures strengthen friendships.
Yes, and sometimes you may face challenges. Maybe your schedules don't match, or you feel nervous about practicing English. That's normal. The key is to communicate openly. Even a simple sentence like, I'm busy this week, but I'd love to meet next week, helps maintain trust.
Also, remember to listen and support your friends. If they have problems adjusting to the new country, be patient and kind. Friendship is a two-way street. Giving and receiving support makes it stronger.
And don't forget to include fun and shared activities whenever possible. Even small activities like going for a walk, cooking together, or attending a local event help the friendship grow and create shared memories.
So, friends, in this chapter, we learned that maintaining friendships means checking in, celebrating moments, communicating openly, supporting each other, and sharing activities. Consistent effort keeps the friendship alive even when life gets busy.
Exactly. And in the next chapter, we'll discuss how to overcome shyness and cultural differences so you can make friends more easily in any country. Welcome back, friends. We've reached the final chapter of today's episode. So far, we've talked about being open, meeting people, starting and keeping conversations, making plans, and maintaining friendships. Now let's talk about one last challenge: overcoming shyness and cultural differences.
Yes, moving to a new country can feel intimidating. You might be shy, nervous, or worried about saying something wrong. That's completely normal. The key is to take small steps and be kind to yourself.
Exactly. One small step is simply smiling and greeting people. Even a tiny hi or hello is enough to start. Remember, most people appreciate the effort, even if your English is not perfect.
Another important tip is to learn about the local culture. Understanding small things like how people greet each other, common phrases, or social habits can make conversations easier and more comfortable.
Yes, and don't be afraid of mistakes. Everyone makes them, and most people will understand and help you. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Also, remember that friendship is universal. People everywhere want to connect, share experiences, and feel welcome. If you show kindness, curiosity, and respect, you'll find friends who appreciate you.
Let's give a small example. Imagine you meet someone at a park. Hi, I'm Olly. I'm new here. What do you like to do in this city? Even if your accent or grammar is not perfect, starting with honesty and friendliness is enough.
Exactly. And the final message is be patient and persistent. Friendships take time. Don't give up if the first attempts feel slow. Every conversation, smile, or shared activity brings you closer to making lasting friends.
So friends, that's it for today's episode, How to Make New Friends in a New Country. Remember all the tips. Be open, meet people in the right places, start conversations, keep them going, make plans, maintain friendships, and overcome shyness.
We hope this episode helps you feel more confident and excited about meeting new people. Making friends takes courage, but the rewards are wonderful: support, laughter, and new experiences.
Thank you for listening. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and remember, every new person you meet is an opportunity for a friendship that can change your life.